Hi, in this video I will go over the anatomy of the respiratory system. Let's start on the nose. The nose functions to warm, cleanse, and humidify the air. It also detects odors and acts as a resonant chamber for voice. The nostrils, the nasal bone, and the hyaline cartilage form the facial portion of the nose. The nasal cavity are internal chambers of the nose divided by the nasal septum. The nasal septum divides into two nasal cavities that contain nasal conchae. The nasal conchae are the superior, middle, and inferior tissue folds that contain blood vessels. They warm and moisten air. Each nasal conchae is separated by the nasal metals. Following the nasal cavity is the pharynx. The pharynx carries air between the nasal cavity. The pharynx also has three portions. The nasopharynx is a passageway for air and is similar to the nasal cavity. The oropharynx is a passageway for air and food, and the laryngopharynx is also a passageway for air and food. Following the pharynx is the larynx. The larynx carries air between the pharynx and the trachea. Its sound production prevents food from entering into the trachea. The larynx contains vestibular lobes, which are muscles that protect the airway by preventing food from entering into the trachea, and the vocal cords are muscles that produce sound. The larynx also has several cartilage. The three main ones are epiglottis, prevents food from entering the trachea; thyroid cartilage forms the anterior and lateral walls of the larynx and is known as the Adam's apple. The cricoid cartilage forms a complete ring inferior to the thyroid cartilage, and it connects to the larynx to the trachea. The larynx voice box contains the vocal cords facilitating sound production. The trachea is a physical connection between the larynx and the bronchial tree. The trachea is a rigid tube supported by a C-shaped rings of hyaline cartilage that help provide support to the trachea as a passageway for air to the lungs, and is known as a windpipe. The trachea bifurcates become the right and left main bronchi. These are the two main bronchi that lead to the lungs. Bronchial tree is a network of highly branched air tubes that carry air into and out of the deep tissues of the lungs. The main bronchi splits to go into each lobe of the lung. The right lung has three lumbar bronchi, the superior, middle, and inferior lobes. The left lung has two lumbar bronchi, one to the superior and one to the inferior lobe. This branch is referred as the lumbar bronchi. The segmental bronchi are the lumbar bronchi branches off of the lumbar bronchi. The bronchioles are the continuation of the segmental bronchi. Terminal bronchioles are the last branches of the air ducts that act only as an air passageway. Following the bronchioles is the alveoli, which are microscopic air sacs found on the respiratory bronchioles and is the main site of gas exchange in the lungs. There are millions of alveoli in each lung.